quote. This may help. This may help. You don't need to read that. That may help. Okay. Good evening, all. Welcome to the fourth Tuesday readings here at Barnes & Noble. I am your host, Z.M. Wise. Tonight's featured poet is none other than Shen. Shen is a poet, journalist, blogger, radio show host, tutor, and aerospace engineer. More importantly, he is a son, brother, friend, traveler, and dreamer. He also hosts a space-themed radio show every Thursday. Ask him about that later. These poems in this book were written between 2015 and 2019. This is the second poetry book he has published. Please welcome to the stage, if you could call this thing a stage, Shen.
Thanks. Alright, thank you, Zach, for that wonderful intro. I'm glad you did not read the entire thing here, so that would have been terrible. So, with that, I'd like to say a few words before I begin. So this book I called it Requiem, the space between words. So the reason I chose the name The Space Between Words is because my first book happened to be called Simple Words, and I decided to inject the word words in there, but also related to something that I feel passionate about, which is space. And then while I was thinking of the title, I figured space actually had multiple meanings. So a lot of this is not about outer space, it's about what's inside inner space. So Merriam-Webster, the dictionary that's been around since 1828, has listed 16 meanings in just the noun form for the word space. Most of these do not apply to what I think of space as. So for me, I condense it down to two meanings. One is the outer space of whatever's up there, beyond Earth. The other, so that's the outside world. The other is the inner space of what's inside of you. And I don't mean your guts or brain, I mean your emotions and thoughts. So, and I think those two are intricately connected. A lot of times for myself, for instance, I relate to what's inside to what's out there, and vice versa. So, yeah, I think I could, might as well start. Okay, and as noted, this was written over about 4 years, but honestly, there was about a year or two I barely wrote anything. So, if you really want to be honest, most of it was written in the span of maybe 2 years. So, okay. Alright, so this one is called A Piece of Life. We have learned to take a bite from a fruit aptly named life. Yet, what do we do with a soft skin which hides a hard core within? A piece of life hard to swallow, a piece of us easy to wallow. Why does this world so conspire? Our situation seems always so dire. Our souls eternally in burning fire. Chaos within, serenity without. Lies we tell, truth we shout. Our steps clearly unclear, our minds full of fear. Outside, a fearless facade, inside, an immense divide. Okay. I'm not reading every single one of these, by the way. Alright, knots. This one's called knots.
Your favorite.
Fingers of my mind feel too thick to undo these knots of my heart. Figure eights, clove hitches, bow lines, each uniquely entangled black ropes of loneliness, anger, sadness, and fear. Faces and scenes of the past near and far, my memories unforgettable, unforgivable. They only grow across the strings of time. These twisted cords tighten their hold. My blood constricts, my body numbs. Okay. Lighthouse. So I saw this picture of, by the way, for some of these I might just give you a little background why I wrote it. So, lighthouse, I wrote that because, I don't know, I just had a picture in my mind of lighthouse. I wasn't even near one. A lighthouse jutted above barren rock, watched the opaque stormy seas carrying no billowing sails, no treasure fleet. Those days along the shoreline's long gone. Today, it's just a cold dripping rain slanted down into the restless ocean's foaming beard, wildly tossed white hair, blue shifting eyes. It gazes at the unrest with serene stillness, an edifice of chipped bricks from time lengthened. Its spirit seemingly thinned, yet its light still shines. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Okay, Blur. I wrote this actually a number of years back, but I edited a few words. The hundreds of days of yesteryear tumble like wet laundry through the dry tunnel of today, and the hundreds of days from today will crumble like dry leaves into the fallen dust of tomorrow. This forgettable blur of life, merely moments heaped upon one another to form an ever-growing hollow mound. Sometimes supports do solidify within the whole's inner cavity. Peace touches tenderly, love sways passionately, joy flares spontaneously, beauty dances gracefully. But just wait for an avalanche, and when it comes, fear grasps tightly, anxiety stirs uneasily, temper surges mindlessly, loneliness suffocates slowly. Afterwards, a gloomy silence prevails, and the hollow monotony still stands. Day after day, a blur always remains.
I like that.
Thanks. Alright. Okay, so maybe something more positive will do. So, okay. Fusion, I wrote this about the sun a few years ago. Hydrogen atoms collide and are no more, conjoining and fusing into helium-4. PP chain reactions with nuclear propensity, thus are born weightless packets of energy, photons we call them, created, destroyed, and created once more, 1,000 times within our solar core, until they reach the photosphere, and with 499 tick-tocks of my watch, they fly across space onto Earth. So how wondrous it is to know this morning gift that we all receive. Bright light from silent explosions of a floating reactor in empty space, sitting 100 million miles away. Okay. Alright, this one's called Beyond Reality. Sometimes I fear that people do not see that beyond this physical world we call reality lies colorful dimensions of intense activity, dancing quarks, spinning matter, chaotic energy. Our senses falter confined to our locality. Far beyond understanding lies true reality. These worlds beyond our physical mortality, not just general relativity nor Euclidean geometry, are meaning, resonating questions through time eternal. Science, from physics to biology, answer only the external. For glimpses of truth lie within our spirit's internal, and the journey to know lies past our life-death terminal. Okay, so I don't necessarily have to go in order in this book, I don't think. Alright, so since I'm going seemingly in the space theme right now, I might as well continue the outer space theme. Might as well go on with the outer space theme until I shift back to the inner space. Alright, so this one's called okay, why not go with Mars? Alright. The sun ducks behind horizon's curtain. The residents of the night sky slowly arise. You, red dot of the night, rightfully stands. Before, we thought you divine, untouchable in the high realm of gods. Now, we believe you cold and dead, barely reachable in vacuum of space. Soon, we shall reveal your true self, your red rocky soil, firmly under our feet. Okay, so, by the way, interspersed in this book, I put pictures. So, like the planets.
Were any of the pieces inspired by the pictures?
No. that Mars poem was inspired by looking at Mars and thinking about how the ancient people thought it was like God, a God.
Yes, it was.
And now we're like, it's a dead planet. But then who knows what we'll discover when we actually get there. So these were thoughts going through my head. So, okay, so this one's called Europa. I'm sure you've heard of it. But this one, I like worlds that have life or potentially have life, right? And that's one of the most likely places. I think Enceladus is another one. But anyways, I wrote this one about Europa. So it's one of the 4 Galileans for people's reference, which possibly have a under ice ocean. Yeah. So frozen plumes above this icy land, creaking ice and such musical thunder. Jupiter's glow looms on your face, reflected on opaque white space. Today, we see your outer face of icy blanched white serenity. Tomorrow, we peer into your heart of dark ocean swimming life. So, alright. Thanks. Okay, I feel like reading stuff that I haven't read at my book opening, like which was 2 weeks ago, at Kaboom Books. So, okay, I guess I would jump back into the inner side of things then. Why not? Alright, okay, so this one's called Riverbed Sky. In your river of dreams, a field of blue beckons you. Look, and you can see the season of your soul colored in shades of light and dark. The crisp night sky may shroud a field, but the bracing moon can coax it out. Stalking creatures of the shadows arise, kissing the wide, flat hand of the sky. Their furs and scales glimmer with treasure, buried softly behind your eyes. Their slow footsteps thumping to the rhythm of the drumming in your heart.
Beautiful.
Alright, this one's called Just a Beach, and I was thinking, well, it was like kids playing at a beach, but they're really stomping on dead bodies, if you think about it. So, sunlit seashells on sand scattered, baked and grayed from wind and water, such pieces of past lives crushed, underfoot small beach sandals, pattering on their bare bones, children laughing on the graves, unknowing life treading on death. Okay. Alright, I don't think I've read this one before. It's called Gold. What a vast treasure chest of gold I see. A dreamer's gold that can't buy anyone. A house, a car, a bed, or even a milkshake. But oh, so priceless when I just sit and see. Gold of the sunrise, gold of the sunset, gold of sunflowers in the fields, gold of oranges in the orchards, gold of trees on the front lawns, gold of sparklers lit at weddings, gold of fireworks on New Year's, gold of lamps in homes at night, gold of goldfish in the bowl, an artist, musician, writer's gold, gold of fresh beginnings and new journeys, gold that cannot be bought or sold, gold that simply is. Okay. Okay. This one's called Shooting Star, and I think this relates to the inner and the outer space. A lot of these do. A straight path burns the atmosphere. A shooting star illuminates a dark sky. A moment here, a moment gone. A journey akin life's joys and scars. Now it shines, then flows and goes. Okay. So, let's see here. Alright. This is called One Step. River after river, hill after hill, crossed, climbed with great will. Behold, the last rock on the brow, just a little trail to a great goal. Brown earth soon to be trod, a step to see all sky and God. Alright, so. Okay, this one's called Summer Shower. Subdued light reflects hazily from glass, rain passing in sheets on asphalt streets. Down these red-green torrential arteries, hard metal canisters of soft bodies coasting by, warm rainbow sewers clogged with leaves. A summer shower for the city and me. Alright, I'm going to read a few more. I think I might as well read something personal. I think. Should we do that? Why not? Let's do it. Let's see. Okay, so this one's called World and I. So, I won't lie, I have big dreams. I want to move the world. I won't lie. I let the world push me. In this world, we made way more babies than adults. Sometimes I feel like I'm growing smaller, not bigger. There's no doubt I'm like a child scared of being alone. I seek solace in the world, knowing that people and things do not know who I am. Perhaps they seek solace too, in whatever fashion they can find. So who is using whom? Artificial noises are seductive to my ears, and I'm lured by worldly sirens. My ears blister and burn while I leave truth for lies. Counterproductive and life-shortening, I shrink. The days of life dance by day, one of so many, I think, or rather, one of so few. Ask me if I'm looking for growth, and I will tell you that I most certainly am. Ask me if I'm growing, and I may tell you that I do not know. But that may be a lie, for I know I often recede. Golden times most frivolously frittered, with motionless words, motionless emotions. The words I say ring hollow to my own ears, even while they may inspire others. My shifting moods give me thoughts where I cannot help but think that I may be a lie. Outside, maybe I still shine, but within, my fire heart is submerged into the cold water of fear. My soul is as deep as the ocean, I think, but lost like Atlantis under the waves. I cannot help but feel that I'm sometimes drowning. This frigid silence within may have eclipsed the totality of my sun. I am a student of my own heart, and I know what I feel. I want a white slate to redraw who I am, and not just to wait out the gray of every day.
Wow. So, personal favorite.
Think so? Okay. So some other ones. You want to get more personal? All right.
Yeah.
Let
us in.
All right. So this is called Not All Children. Not all children. I can't say that word. How do you say it?
Children.
Yeah. I don't know why. There's certain words I never.
Kinderlauf?
There's like basic words I can't say. I don't know. But anyways. Yeah. All right. So not all children have a childhood. No warm hugs, only cold shoulders. No sky-high dreams, only grounded reality. No crumbly cookies, only crumbling promises. No high praises, only bring me down criticisms. If only they knew, not all grown-ups are grown. They rumble, stumble, tumble, feeding fear and seeding pain, blaming kids for their own mess. Wow. But anyways, I'm not saying I blame my parents. Well, I do to a degree, but not maybe not to that severity level. But, actually, I shouldn't blame it all. But anyways, it's just something I feel. It's something I'm trying to not feel, but that's how I feel. So.
Gotcha. Good to know.
You know. Anyways. Yeah. So. Okay. All right. Let's see here. You know what? How much time do we have? It's 8:07. You don't have to check.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, might as well read this one. So, this one I wrote when I felt like describing how I get inspired, right? So, this is how I feel anyway. Some see it as rolling clouds across a great plain. Some hear it as roaring thunder, an onset of rain. I feel wind and waves rushing ashore from an undersea quake. The ancient Greeks called it the muse, such inspiration giving so attuned. It comes and then goes. I cannot help but agree. Only moments for me to surf, only moments for me to seize, before it hits and then leaves. So, I'm not done. Okay, so, alright, so those were a bunch of poems from the latest book, which I have some here. You know, if you're interested, you can let me know later. Also have some stuff from some of my first book, which I'm not gonna read. But so my next book, what I want, yes, I'm already thinking about that. Is what is I want it to be like actual novel or at least a novella, which would be at least 60 pages, I would presume. So you know, I've written a few things off and on, and they tend to start and then sputter, or then I can't figure out how it keeps going. But this one I really want to continue. So this one's called Desert Trek. I actually started this a number of years ago and only wrote like one page, or page, and then lately I've been adding a bit more. Alright, so I'm going to read a bit from this.
This is your book, the book that you're working starting.
Yeah, this is not poetry. So.
Okay.
It's called Desert Trek. A sense of expansive solitude struck the girl when she raised her left hand and shielded her eyes from the harsh sunlight. She had always thought of the desert as a desolate place replete with sand dunes and little else. Her mental picture wasn't wrong. Her mind just had a hard time adjusting to the reality of such vast desolation staring back at her. The heavy silence was pervasively deafening. The arid air static with the smell of dust, and her sweat was horribly discomforting. The torrid heat had long soaked her body with her own sweat. She opened her water canister, and with her cracked lips took a swig of water, tinged by the taste of coppery dust. The forbidding atmosphere left her to briefly ponder on the tenacious stupidity of those who chose to live in such a barren wasteland. She took a look at her compass, and noted that she was still in the right orientation. The way to the oasis was not far, and she needed to be on her way. Shrugging off the last vestige of contemplation, she trudged onward. 3 steps in, and her right foot had once again sunk into a foot of sand. Again. With a grudging sigh, she shook her boots and waited as a fine stream of gravel and sand poured out, leaving behind traces that had long formed a solid congregation next to her toes. At the pace she's going, reaching the oasis before sunset would be a miracle. The more likely scenario is making do with another campfire and a restless sleep, chilled by the wind that swept across the dunes. Reality as always resulted in the likely scenario. Darkness found her still at least half a day's journey from the oasis. She was making better progress than most travelers, though her speed was not nearly as fast as she would have liked. This was clearly not her natural habitat. As she grasped her cloak and covered her face as the dusty wind blew by, she thought of her homeland, a temperate land of wooded forests encapsulated on all sides by an emerald sea. The elements here seemed to be wholly against her. Upon reaching a clearing with just a modicum of rocks, her aching legs informed her that she must stop. Gingerly, she set up camp and managed to make a small campfire shelter from the wind. Roasted lizards never really appealed to her before, but somehow her stomach appreciated the generous offer now. Sated and tired, she lay back on the sleeping pad and pulled her blankets close. Tomorrow was another day, but for now there was just now. The desert was harsh, but it offered a timeless view of the heavens. She could see the evening star barely peeking its head from the horizon to the west, and the North Star standing like a glowing sentinel overhead. Scattered between the two, half a dozen constellations with names that she barely remembered, named by the ancient astronomers. Maybe at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We ask ourselves why anyone would live here, but the answer is marked in the heavens and earth. This timeless place is impossible to replace. Maybe we are the ones who became lost when we turned our backs on our past. Grains of thoughts piled upon each other until they collapsed with an avalanche of sleep, that struck her without warning. Yeah. So, alright. Anyways, hopefully I can make that into actual 60 more pages of that.
Looking forward to it.
With actual plot, not just endless descriptions. So,
That's how we start.
yeah, some of that. Okay, so, yeah, any case, I think I will, I mean, I could take up everybody's time, but I'm gonna end it for now, I suppose. So,
If you want, you could read one or two from Simple Words.
oh, alright, sure. Let's make it really simple.
Ja, ja, ja.
Simple words. Okay, that's fine. I feel like I should read things I don't normally read. What do you think?
Yes.
Like this. Otherwise, I keep finding myself reading the same things because I think those are the better ones, and I don't read anything else. So, okay, not that one. Not that one. Sorry.
Well put.
Are
They
they?
made it into a book, it's worse out.
Yeah. I don't like some of the things I read. I mean, I wrote. That's what I mean.
Don't tell that to your readership.
It's true.
That's okay.
Okay. I don't know if that's okay. So
Do you want me to pick one for you?
Yes.
you know what? This takes too long. Go pick one. I'm a poor judge. You're able to see with those shades on, right?
Oh yeah. The ship.
Really? Okay.
So
Okay. This is like the oldest poem I.
Yes.
Essay trend. This is the oldest poem I. Actually, this is really interesting because this is like I wrote this I think when I was in 9th grade, like high school, and I gave it to my teacher because my English teacher, right? And she was like, "This is pretty good. You should finish it." And then I think I did finish it. So literally, you chose like the oldest poem I wrote.
Oh, cool.
So
What can I say?
I'm not sure that's that great, but sure. All right. So, sailing in the thundering waves of lightning and fury, a deserted ship skims across the dark, treacherous water. A night of the dead and of the unburied, discovered on the rocks of a perilous channel 3 days later. An old man staring eternally into space on his galleon, forever frozen in the scene of his end.
Bless you.
Is that deep, halfway decent? Oh, wow. Okay. Can't believe it. Alright. So, alright. Well, might as well, actually, you know what? Let's read this one. Dream of Spirit. Did I read that to you?
I don't believe
No?
so.
Okay. This one I wrote a long time ago. This Simple Words was published a long time ago. Dream of Spirit. Once in the dream of dusk I laid, lone in the light of an ending day, soul deep in the visions of endless plains, and the spirit of calm was the quiet rains, and the spirit of love was a rosy sky, and the spirit of peace was the wind's sigh, in that mystic plain in the land of sleep. Lone in the light of the magical night, I saw the stars shimmer so bright, gather and gleam around my soft youth, and with them came the spirit of truth. To quench my yearning, I stood up high, felt them with my soul in wondrous sight, in that mystic plain in the land of sleep. So, okay, might as well just read one more, then it should be good, which bothers me. Oh, are we doing this again?
Alright. Years of Tears.
I don't like that one.
Here, let me do it.
Alright. So, Kayla here is a very accomplished poet as well.
Oh God, no, don't talk about me.
Okay, fine. I won't do that.
Red light.
Red light. Okay, it's alright. Okay, so red light of the sun fading into the night. I shut the shutters. I sit and just breathe. I breathe in sorrow, the slave of your world. Every little action only falls onto me. To follow your words is to just wait there at the crossroads of life, stopping at your red light. But do you know, on this journey, only change can happen when I change myself. Red light of the sun, giving away to the night, I shut the shutters, I sit and just breathe. Breathe of peace, the ruler of my world, courage of conviction in everything I do. So I say I believe in you. Do you believe in me?
Ooh. Thank you for choosing that way. I don't think I've ever read that out loud.